Good evening, guys. Welcome back. We are about to start our Python fundamentals on tuples. All right. So remember I told you that a tuple is similar to a list. The only difference between a list is that it is immutable while a list is mutable. Okay. Just like a list, tuples can store different types, right? So to start off, I'm just going to show you how to create an empty list. It's always good to have comments. An empty what? Tuple, not an empty list. So empty tuple, how would you create that? There, go. Then you can just print it out. You can print empty tuple, and then I can also, actually on the same line, interesting, you can also do print type empty tuple, right? So, and then if I run this, right, Python, what is it called? Tuples.py, I should get an empty tuple and a class tuple. So you can print more than one thing in a print statement, right? You just got to separate it. Okay, so let me just comment that out. Okay, so now let's actually create an actual tuple, right? Let me not say actual tuple, but empty was a tuple, but I just mean actual to say that it actually has values inside. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, and then I can print, let's say the int tuple, and if we run that, we should get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? We could also create a mixture, right, of tuples, where I could just say this is 3, that's a string. This is a list, right? There should be something there, list, and if it's no longer an int tuple, but just, you see, so it's a collection of items, and all the items are not the same. Here we have a list, here we have a string, here we have some ints, right? So now let me show you how you create a tuple with one element. It's a bit tricky, right? So remember I said you can create a tuple, let's say tup one. You can create, this is a tuple, right? And I say print tup1 and type of tup1, okay? And I should get, you can see it's a list, it's a tuple, right? But I didn't put the brackets there. If you put the brackets, it's good practice. It's still a tuple, right? Now, how would you create a tuple with one element, right? You'd be thinking, okay, since there's no elements, I'll just do this. But what happens once you do that? That's just an integer. Python just saves it as an integer. So the way you tell Python that this is just a one element tuple, you have to put the comma there, right? And if we do that, there we go. And if we were to remove the parentheses and just, so this is how you create one element tuple, and then you see that is a tuple. Okay. Alrighty, guys. So that is how you create tuples. Now let's do something like, how do you access and elements in a tuple? Remember, just like in the list, we could do negative indexing, and slicing, right? So I'm going to create a tuple that is, all right, we're going to start with indexing. We're going to create a languages tuple to store all the languages in South Africa. We have English, not all, but some. I'm going to write the whole 11 or 12, 13. I'm not sure. I remember. isiXhosa, we have isiZulu. We also have Sesotho. We have Tsonga. Hopefully my pronunciation is good there. And we have Afrikaans. All right. And then, so now just like with lists, how do you access an item? You can use indexing. And I want to get the first element, which is English. I just say 0. And if I want to get the last element, right, languages, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Remember, 6 minus 1 is 5. And there is the last element there. So this is the first element. Then let's just say that. And this is the last element, right? Which is n minus 1. Minus 1. All right. And if we're to run that, we should get some English and Afrikaans, right? So that is how you access items in a list, in a tuple. I keep on saying list, but forgive me, I mean tuple. All right. It works the same way as a list. Now, remember with negative indexing, right? Negative indexing. Let's say I didn't know how many items were in the list. We just say get the last element, right? with negative indexing, we go -1. And that would get me the last element in the list, in the tuple, all right? And then we can say print languages, and I want to get the second element of this. I want to get, you see, what's that? So it's -1, -2, -3, -4, -5, -1. Remember, last one, 2, 3, 4, 5. And see how that works. And that's what we get, okay? And then let me show you slicing, right? Remember, remember, slicing is used to access a range of items, right? By using the colon operator, all right? Okay, so if I want to get the first 3 elements, language, which is, and I'll say 0, 2, 3. Remember, I want the first 3 items, so I have to select 4 -1 is 3. Okay, and then if I run this, I have first 3, which is English. So 0, 1, 2, 3. 3 is not inclusive, so this is what we get. Ooh, okay, and that's just a tuple. It returns a tuple as well. All right, and that's how you do some slicing. Remember, there's shortcuts, okay, for that. If you want to get print all the elements from here to -3, 1, 2, 3, right? Which is what we just did over here before. I would just do something like this. I'll just remove this. And remember, if I don't include the number, it means start from the beginning. And just like before, we got that, right? -3. Okay, remember this is -1, -2, -3. And I'm saying get everything from here up the way to there. Okay, so that's how you do a bit of slicing in with tuples. I've shown you how to do this with lists. It's pretty much the same, and the only difference here is we can't edit. So you can't say I want to change the item that is in the tuple. So tuples are immutable, lists are not. So therefore, we have no methods for tuples to add items or remove items from a tuple. If you wanted to calculate the number of items in a let's move that. Let's just do that, and let's do that. And if you wanted to remove the number of items or count the number of items in a tuple, you just do something like this. Learn languages, all right? And then you can just tell you the 6 items there. Okay, and then there's this other thing called concatenation operations. And this, you use the plus item. I can create a new tuple with concatenation tuple. So tuple, I can just print it out. So let's say I want to get languages, all right? And plus languages, right? So this is the concatenation operation. I'll have 6 items here, 12 items, sorry. So it's just a concatenate what's in this tuple with what's in another tuple. So they just added it together. Here we have 2 tuples that are the same. So it's just a repeat of the original, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, all right? And you could also do that with a multiplication where you were like ×2 and you would get the same ×2, all right? And you can also iterate through for language in languages, all right? Print languages, all right? No, print languages, and there we iterate through the items in the tuple, right? And we can check we could do like Boolean statements. We can do something like check if in this language is in there and stuff like that. We could say something like if language equals to French, right? Print French. Print language. No. Say print French. Or France. And then we could do elif language in, okay, well, it's always going to be in languages, right? Let's just call it an else print South Africa. All right. And what should happen here is I should get 6 South Africans, right? There we go, because there was no France in there. So we can do things like that with tuples. Okay, guys, that is pretty much it that we can do with tuples. We'll join back and we'll do some dictionaries. Thank you for watching.